I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game.
Me. Bam, bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that like she scored 30.
We talking about sports. I mean, what we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.
All right, man. Welcome back. We talking about sports, episode number 9. Man, we're right here getting close to that double-digit mark. Feels pretty good.
Yes, it does.
As you know, here when we open up, we like to shoot the breeze and talk about our past week. Ben, tell me about your week this past week.
This past weekend, hung out with a bunch of family, bro. Got way too drunk on Friday, and then Saturday just recovering hard.
Okay.
Podcast.
Sunday recovering. Sunday recovering, and then back to work, bro. This weekend is Father's Day, so I know we're gonna go to a party over here in New Braunfels. They're having a banda come over to the house. Yeah,
Wow.
Pretty excited about that.
Live bond is nice, man.
Live banda. I told them I'd take the tequila, and that's because I never drink tequila. But banda's gonna be there live.
Tequila don't go
Make some
well.
ranch water. So you had ranch water?
No, I don't even. I just heard about palomas. People are
they're
like,
good.
okay,
They're good.
I've
Palomas
never
are
had a
good.
paloma. I've never had a paloma.
You can't go wrong with that, man. That's good stuff.
Ranch waters are good too.
Yeah.
I made some the other day.
What is that?
Topo
It's
Chico,
like-
tequila, lime, and then salt.
Chico. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's
I
the
like
only
it.
time I can drink Topo Chico is it has tequila.
That's a
That's
cool
the only
name.
time I can drink tequila is if it has
Ranch
Topo
water.
Chico in it.
Yeah, ranch waters.
Ranch waters.
That's what they're called, bro.
What were you up to, Ro?
Oh man, my week's pretty good, man. I mean, I just have something to look forward to this weekend. I'm going home to the Valley for a few days, taking off Friday and Monday from work. So got myself a nice little long weekend. Gonna go down. I don't know. It's kind of against my will, but we're going down to South Padre Island for the weekend to celebrate my brother's birthday. So I'll be down there for a few days. It should be fun. Gonna keep my distance definitely though, because I see the numbers spiking back up.
Yeah.
Gotta be the Dr. Saucy here on the podcast. Just alluding to more. We're gonna have
Better
a little
lead by example.
segment later. So yeah, I gotta keep my distancing. Gotta lead by example, obviously. But yeah, I had a good week. I've been back to work. I actually went to work for a few days, and actually somebody at the bank or somebody I guess came in contact or something, and we actually got sent home. So I'm working from home again. I feel good. I don't think I came in contact with anybody, and because they said they would have notified anybody if they did, and I wasn't notified. So I think I'm in the clear. I feel all right. But yeah, have a lot to look forward to. I had no idea it was Father's Day this weekend though, so I got to do something about that. Maybe give my dad a little something on my way down to the valley or before I go. But yeah, it's my brother's birthday also, so that's kind of what I was thinking of before Father's Day. So my bad. Thanks for reminding me though, Ben.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I had a pretty good week. Had a little bit midweek, little COVID scare at home. One of my family members we thought had it. Turns out took the test, came out fine. So thank God for that. She got some good rest anyway, so that was good for her. But yeah, let's move on to our YouTube comment of the week. What's up?
Real quick though, that's getting pretty big down there in the valley because my brother Leo said that at his job somebody went like selling plates when they reopened, and the person selling plates had COVID. So 15 people from his job that bought plates all got it.
Yeah, that's
They were like looking at going back to work, and now they pushed it back a whole nother month. So they're going to be working from home.
Well, I believe yesterday we had a spike of 143 cases.
Crazy.
Wow.
That was our highest, and 2 deaths, it's been our highest down here. So yeah, YouTube comment. Oh man, this week was a pretty good comment. I think we all liked it. It comes from Gabriela Diaz, and she says, "Fellas, curious to know if you could go back in time and attend any game/fight in person, which one would it be and why?"
It's a really good question. Thank you, Gabby, for
really
putting that
good
on
question.
the YouTube post. For me personally, the first one that came to mind, and there's a lot of games that I can think of that I'd like to go to that happened back in time that I didn't have the chance to go to, but just like one of the first memories that I have, like the sports as a kid, is the Memorial Day Miracle with Sean Elliott hitting the game-winning game-winning three-pointer against. I hope I'm getting this right. I think it was against the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. So yeah, that was one of my first memories of being a Spurs fan. I remember watching that as a kid. So yeah, I definitely would like to have been there in person for that. I would go back in time in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's a good one, Roland, if you're a Spurs fan, I guess. But I thought about mine pretty hard, and several came to mind. The one that stuck out, and kind of like Roland said, like the one that I just wish I was attending, and I wish I was just there live for the atmosphere. And what happened was that Game 7 of the Cavaliers and the Warriors, man.
Hell yeah.
When they came back from 3-1, just the whole LeBron pin down. I was a huge LeBron fan then. We were watching this in Virginia. It's when I was in the Navy, and we were up in Virginia, and we had a party at my house for Game 7, and one of Gabby's coworkers was from Ohio. So like when they won, he was crying, bro. The dude was drunk as hell. Like he slept outside sitting on a chair, and this was midweek. Like he had already asked for the next day off. So we partied hard there, but just the actual game, wild, bro. The whole sequence, just what it meant, and LeBron winning, post Miami. That's what, out of the many games, that's the one that stuck out to me.
Oh, nice.
Good pick.
All right, for me, as a fight fan, there's only one thing that I wish I could have lived through and seen. That's Ali Boumaier, Rumble in the Jungle, Ali and Foreman. I would have loved to have gone, but of course, wasn't born yet. But I've seen plenty of video. I've seen Will Smith portray Ali and do the whole Rumble in the Jungle. Man, as a fight fan, I wish I could have been somewhere there to see that, or even just been born at the time to get to witness that event. That would have been nice.
And just real quick, a little correction on mine. It's still the Memorial Day Miracle, but it was against the Blazers. That's who I thought it was against, but for some reason I just said the Knicks because I know that's who they played in the finals.
The dude with the
it was in the Western Conference Finals.
What was his name?
What's that?
The Blazer with the dreads. I believe he was on the team at the time.
Darius Miles? Was it him?
No,
yeah,
it wasn't.
cornrows.
It wasn't. It was a dread. It was a dread dude.
Grant? Hugh Grant?
It might have been Grant, but not Hugh Grant. But I think it was Grant.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, Grant.
I remember he was a problem for the Lakers. That's why I would remember him sometimes.
Okay, yeah. That's when they had Rasheed Wallace. I think they had Damon Mighty Mouse Stoudemire on the team at the time. And I'm not sure if Scottie Pippen was still on the team or if he had just retired. Because I know he had gotten crossed up by Kobe the year before. And we all know what happened there. But yeah, just a quick correction. Yeah, it was against the Blazers.
All right. Hey, well, Gabby, that was a great question, man. That's probably one of the better questions that we've had.
I really
for
debated
sports
it.
fans.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought about it for a while. Initially I wanted to say something with Kobe but then I thought that's a series, it's not a individualized event, and I had to go with what I had to do.
Do you have another one that came really close for you?
Well, it would have been Kobe's first championship. I wish I could have been there for that.
Or the last game?
No, not so much the last game. I'd have been too emotional, man. That would have been hard for me.
You'd be crying when he's scoring 60.
And I don't want to be that kid that's crying there, or that guy that's crying there.
That grown man.
Yeah.
I
that
thought
grown man
about
with the beer crying.
The Astros Game 7 or McGregor Diaz 1 is something that was. I mean, that was the other one wild.
That we all said too before the show was USC versus Texas or Texas versus USC with Vince Young.
But we weren't even old enough to drink, so would we really want to be there?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we can go back in time today. Yeah.
Seeing VY?
I can go back as myself today. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. All right. Hey, as y'all know, some sports are coming back, and there's been a few issues, but we're going to let Dr. Saucy touch up on all that.
Yeah, I'll walk us through it real quick, and we're all going to give our little opinions on it. But, first, with people coming back, the first guys that were coming back were the soccer teams with Bundesliga, the MMA. Obviously, they came back and they've been reeling off events really soundly, other than maybe one positive I think that they had. And sure, you have guys missing weight and whatnot because of the circumstances, but other than that, it's been running pretty cleanly for the UFC. But most recently, college and college sports. They decided to allow teams to come back as of June 8th and start voluntary workouts. I'm sure people heard today and throughout the weekend that Ohio State players and parents, they all had to sign coronavirus waivers in order to come back for voluntary workouts. I don't know the true details of that, but it just probably just leads you to believe that the school doesn't want to be held liable if they contract coronavirus during these voluntary workouts and whatever that might entail. Houston, the University of Houston, the Cougars, their football team, they started voluntary workouts, and they actually suspended them because they had 6 guys test positive within the first week of people coming back. So I think that's pretty crazy. I mean, if you guys were a parent or a player, would you guys be coming back for these voluntary workouts, or would you even be considering it? I don't know. I'm curious for both of your opinions. I mean, myself, I would probably go back if I was a player, because just me personally, I think you can avoid this if you do the proper social distancing measures and you're really, really taking it seriously, at least for the time being. I think you can avoid it, so I would go back. But would you guys? I'm just curious.
I think like if I'm playing at Ohio State, if you're playing at Ohio State, you have aspirations of going into the league.
The NFL, exactly.
How many players they send in, and if you're not there, those are reps you're losing and probably a spot that you're losing.
That's a great point.
Yeah, for damn sure. Now, if I was at, Morgan State or playing at Villanova, maybe D2, no, I probably wouldn't there, because I mean, how
the stakes aren't as high.
Those dorms be, bro?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And the stakes aren't as high. Yeah. So, in a situation at a D1 program like that, I think you have to, man.
For sure. No, I agree. That's a great point. I wasn't even thinking that way, but yeah, they losing reps to other guys.
If you're saying though from a parent's perspective, like if I was a parent, I think I'd be a little skeptical to send my kid back. I'd maybe request like an off-season workout, like that they're going to plan to do with the kid, and maybe go through that workout or hire a trainer for the kid to complete that workout at home. I don't know if I would want to send them back.
Oh, when do you let them go back, Justin? The season starts in 2 months.
Man.
Yeah, would you let them go back for the start of the season?
And you're just not going to let them play football this year, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not that you're not going to let them play football, but
you gotta practice somewhat to play.
No, definitely, but I think you would have to wait till there's a little bit more regulations and the cases go down a little bit more.
You're saying not be the guinea pigs.
Exactly.
For sure.
Especially if you have aspirations to go into the league. I don't know if you've seen what this does to the lungs, the pictures that it does to the lungs, the effect it has on it. People say that they're never going to be the same afterwards. So,
yeah. Well, two different ways to look at it, man.
Definitely, it's a risk. I mean, like you said, you missed the opportunity to get into the league, missing reps. Someone's going to replace you because there's going to be the next guy up who's going to say yes.
Yeah,
and the campuses are talking about packing the bleachers also, bro. So I mean, it's the school's not. How much safety or precautionary stuff are they really taking? Yeah. If they're still planning, Ole Miss was saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a sold-out stadium when we play, I believe A&M," or I don't know if that's in A&M, but regardless, A&M was saying the same thing.
Well, Greg Abbott said that there's going to be fans in the stands come football season.
Well, now I think that's why they're asking for these people to sign these affidavits and waivers.
So, hey, they've had enough grievances with the NCAA due to Urban Meyer, bro. They're just trying to do things the right way. They're just trying to do things the right way, man.
All right.
Like that. And just I guess staying on the trend of positive tests and whatnot, big news came out this week because America's team was involved in it, obviously, in the NFL.
This one hurts.
You heard players from the Cowboys and the Texans all tested, or not all as in all of the players, but there was players from the Cowboys and the Texans that tested positive for the coronavirus, including one player's name who actually got leaked to the public, being one of my current favorite players, plays on my favorite team, the best player on my favorite team, Zeke Elliott. His name got out, and I'm sure everybody saw the tweet that he put out this week. It was just a one-word tweet saying HIPAA. Where are my medical rights? How did my name get leaked? Why did it get leaked to the public? People were trying to say, and I mean, Ian Rappaport was the one who broke the news to the masses, saying that his agent confirmed that Zeke tested positive for the virus and was in good spirits and whatnot and feeling well. But Zeke was coming out and saying, after he put out that one-worded tweet about HIPAA, he came out and said, my agent only came out and confirmed. He was not the one who broke the news. The news was already broken. There was already an article written. They were simply coming to my agent for confirmation. They were calling him all morning, as in the media. There's somebody that was trying to get the story because they had the news, and he was wondering, how did this get out? What happened to my medical rights? And you know what? Not only am I a fan of his, but just all bias aside, I'm with him here. How does your name get out? That should not be public news. It's kind of like the Jason Pierre-Paul situation where you have Adam Schefter taking a picture, or somebody took a picture of his X-ray with 3 fingers, and that's how everybody found out that he blew off his fingers. And there was like a little lawsuit pending with Adam Schefter. I don't know what ended up happening with that, but a similar situation. Just kind of crazy to me that his name got out. I don't know what you guys think about that. I know we all work here. HIPAA is serious.
I think that Zeke needs to be smarter than that, because had his agent not confirmed it, would everybody be running with it?
Yes.
No, a good agent wouldn't have confirmed that. I don't know who his agent is, but all I'm saying is
a good PR specialist would advise his agent not to confirm it.
That story would have had no.
That's a good angle.
That story would have had no credibility had his agent not confirmed it. All the dude had to say was, no comment or just ignore the call. But if you go and say yes, he confirmed it, that's probably what his agent told Zeke, and Zeke's just not like, yeah, but had you not confirmed it, then it's all just hearsay, speculation. Nobody knows.
Here's the thing, though.
Now everybody knows.
Regardless, it's a violation of his rights.
Yeah, it might be, Justin.
No, it is. It's not a might be. It's a violation.
I just want to know who leaked the information.
Right. On who leaked the information, but his agent didn't have to confirm it, bro. There's rumors, leaked information.
That's a fair point.
Rumors. Was it leaked like documents? Like, did they leak?
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know.
I don't know, because it was TMZ who first came out with it.
Because either way, if somebody was saying, hey, if you don't confirm this, I still have medical records. I just want to get your word for it, or what have you. Just tell me the status of Zeke or whatever, because I have documents.
That's against the law. Then that's against the law. That's fine. But his agent doesn't have to comply, Roland.
That's true.
To a crime, if he knows that it's against the law, why do you have to comply?
I think it really does come down to who leaked the information and how it got out. Because, like you said, it could just be a rumor, but if it was coming from somebody that was credible within the organization, I think it goes down to that person.
Well, within the organization, that's within the organization.
Excuse my language. That's messed up to even be saying that. I mean, obviously the Texans, none of their players or none of their names got leaked. I mean, what if it was Deshaun Watson? For all we know, I'm not saying that he has it. I hope he doesn't have it.
And I had a buddy who was a Cowboys fan that said, like, "Oh, Zeke, Watson, J.J. Watt, and Tunsil all got corona." Like, what, bro?
You mean me?
And then
I said that to you.
You did too. And come to find out, only Zeke's name got leaked. Hey, Zeke's pretty nasty, bro. Like, he said he was gonna be cool, but didn't he have crabs before and now corona, bro?
Dude, I was joking about the crabs, bro.
Well, Justin, what's up?
Any of that,
you know where all the fake news is coming from?
Dr. Saucy's not gonna stand for that.
Oh man, you're feeding me all this fake news, bro.
Bro, I'm just trying to get a rise view in the chat.
You just have to put LOL at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's the same problem that I have. People take me serious sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, Zeke, hopefully he's okay. He's able to get through this. I know he's a little upset that his name got leaked, but somebody was looking for a story and they accomplished it because it didn't have to be
somebody
true.
made money on that leak,
yeah,
you know?
For sure. Yeah, that's just insane that his name got out. But anyways, just to turn a negative into a positive here, New Zealand, I don't know if you guys saw that they recently held a rugby match with a fully packed stadium. I think it was about 20,000 people, shoulder to shoulder. Nobody was social distancing. I mean, they had eradicated the disease for about 3 weeks. They hadn't had a positive or a death for about a month, give or take. So they lifted the restrictions and they held a rugby game, and it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like something that I'd want to attend. So New Zealand, they came back, as we all know. Soccer has been up and running, as I mentioned at the beginning of the breakdown, but EPL, English Premier League, they came back today. I think they played their first set of games. Manchester City versus Arsenal, they kicked off in the afternoon. That was fun. And then you got some more games this weekend that are coming up. Champions League, they finally released their timeline for what's going to be going on and how this whole thing is going to break down. So we have a lot to look forward to with the Champions League. I think they're set to restart in August. It's going to be a 12-day mini tournament. They're going and playing in Portugal. And then I think from what I've seen, I think Ben was the one who posted this, they're going to finish off the second leg of the round of 16, and then they're going to get into the round of 8, and they're going to finish it that way. But what a lot of pundits and a lot of people have been talking about is the extraneous, the stress that's going to be on these players, a lot of the upper echelon players, in the top leagues or in the top teams, and that also have international duties that are coming up, because obviously there's not only Euros that are coming up, but World Cup qualifying is coming up soon in this next little cycle. So you're going to have guys in the Premier League who are playing for Europa League. They're playing in the Carabao Cup. Some teams are currently competing in Champions League, which I just mentioned. There's going to have a lot of games within a 12-day span, I think, is what they're proposing to take place in August. So a lot of these players are going to be playing a lot of soccer. I know we're all happy that everything's coming back, and I'm glad that it's coming back. I love Premier League soccer, and I love Champions League soccer. It's some of the best sporting events to watch, point blank period. So I'm glad that they're coming back, but that's a lot of stress on some of these players.
Absolutely.
Do you think we're gonna see some injuries? Do you think
It's 11 games in 16 days.
There you
That's
go.
how long the final will be. So it starts August 7th, and the finals August 23rd. 2 days of first leg, 7th and 8th will be first leg, and the next week the round of 8 starts.
that's like a basketball tournament almost, man?
We're definitely going to see players tired. But you know what's going to be interesting is we're going to see some depth now. We're going to have
That's what I
to
was
see
going to
depth.
ask. Are they going to be allowed to carry extra players on their roster?
I don't.
That'd be interesting.
I don't think that. Justin, how many games is it going to be? I mean,
You said 11 and 16.
so
Yes,
it's
11 and 16.
one game in the leg of 16, then the quarterfinals,
Yes.
semifinals, and finals. Is it?
That's 2
I
games
think that
each.
if anything, they'll just be resting players for regular.
Among the regular duties that they have as well.
Yes,
Well,
with
that's,
the
exactly.
Premier
that's where I
League,
think that they're going to be rested, bro.
Well, here's the thing: like you go up in a game 2-0, you can rest your best players after that.
You can rest your best players for
Yeah.
sure, but that can also backfire on you. And then we also,
It's going to be a lot of management.
as we know as soccer fans, and you just brought it, that's a key word, management. A lot of these teams are going to decide, what do I have the best chance of winning? You know, that you see it every year. You know, you see a team that, like for example, I hate to bring it up, but Manchester United, the last couple of years, once they've fallen out of like Premier League top 4 contention, and they're in Europe, they put all of their chips in Europe, trying to win that Europa League so they can get their Champions League qualification. You see teams doing it all the time where they put their emphasis. So I think that's going to be key, like Ben just said, and Justin mentioned with management. Where are these players going to rest? Are you going to see players resting in Premier League and gearing up for Champions come August? Or are you going to see players resting in Champions? That's crazy.
Quick example: PSG. They have the French league wrapped up already. Are they going to be? They're not going to be.
They didn't even come back for the French league. The French league's not coming back.
Or there you go. Then they have an advantage. They don't even have those duties.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a good betting point. That's a
let's-
good betting point.
That's an angle. Yeah. Let's quick pick, real quick, just to wrap it up. Who wins the Champions League? Quick pick. Who's your
Dang.
pick to win the champions?
Hold on, let me
Just
hold
off the
on. Just
top.
give me 1 second. I don't even know who's still in.
Liverpool,
It's been so long.
PSG, Man City,
I thought Liverpool got eliminated.
Leipzig. Really?
Weren't they down to PSG?
No, that was Dartmouth.
That was my alarm. I'm sorry, guys.
Man City facing that ban also. This is like this is going to be do or die for them. But with PSG not even having to worry about their regular league, man, that's crazy. I know they always tend to come up short and never really get it done when it comes to the tournament. They always have high hopes, but they like confirmed that Cavani's leaving after this season, so maybe they'll have one little last run there in the Champions League.
Man, for me, my money's on two teams. Just after thinking this through, it's either going to be Bayern or Barcelona for me. They're both in still, right? And Bayern, I think
Liverpool's out, right?
Bayern has been playing some really, really sound soccer, and they've been playing the longest since the Bundesliga got started. So they should be in peak condition, or I guess as close to peak condition as you can be, considering the circumstances relative to the other teams that they'll be facing. I actually don't think, now that I'm thinking about this, that the French league not playing, I don't think that's going to be an advantage for PSG. I think that'll end up being a disadvantage for them, because this is going to be their first competition. Other teams are going to be in full swing pretty much by then. So I like Bayern and I like Barcelona.
I think that PSG also already wrapped up their round of 16. Like, they already played both of their games against Dortmund, so they're not even going to come back until the quarterfinals.
Hey,
that'll be their first time back on.
And I think Barcelona just got Suarez back, right?
Yeah. I mean, and they just came back to play this week.
Another little thing, the Bundesliga only has 3 games left. So by the time that this tournament starts, Bundesliga will be done. They'll have a little bit of a break before Bayern goes back to Champions League.
That's a good point. I like that. So, yeah, Bayern and Barcelona.
EPL is the one that just started. So Man City and those teams might be playing right up into that.
Yeah, and that's what I meant to mention with my introduction to the soccer topic it's primarily the Premier League upper echelon players that are probably going to be put through the most stress in terms of having to play Premier League, Champions League, the Carabao Cup, Europa League, depending on where you're at, and then possibly national fixtures with the Euros coming up. So a lot to look forward to in sports.
If you're a soccer
coming
fan.
up. Yes, sir. Especially if you're a soccer fan, tune in these next couple of days, because there's going to be some pretty good soccer, especially on Friday. If anybody's interested in Premier League, there's going to be a pretty good matchup between Tottenham and Manchester United. I doubt it. Manchester United's going to come through. We need the 3 points so we can come even with Chelsea, hopefully, and get that 4th spot.
I believe Harry Kane's back for this one from his.
Yeah, but you guys don't have Della Ali, one guy who doesn't take coronavirus
he never scores,
seriously.
Bro. It's like he's never there. He's never there.
All right. Don't use that as an excuse when they lose. But for just before we move on, that was it for the Dr. Saucy update, guys.
All right, that was a good update, Dr. Saucy. Appreciate that. All right, we got some college football news this week, and it's something real light that we want to talk about. It's been 10 years now between USC and OJ Mayo and Reggie Bush. They're reestablishing their ties, and they had disassociated with the two players at hand over the money issues. Both of them were taking money during their time at USC, which kind of brings up a few questions now with the way that the NCAA is allowing players to get paid off some of their likenesses and whatnot. Do you think this is a case for Reggie to go and get that Heisman back?
He should have never given it back. Just first off, he should have never given it back. Although Vince Young is rightfully the winner of that Heisman Trophy that year. But since Reggie Bush won it, he should have never given it back. Honestly, the only thing that he ever took was a house that was paid for the duration of the time that he was there at USC for his family in San Diego. That's all that he took. And people want to go and make this big deal, and the NCAA, I thought, was messed up in the very beginning to ask him to give it back in the first place. I would have never given it back if I were him. I don't know if there were any legal implications, but the fact that Justin brought up that players and the NCAA's attempt to maintain and to keep the players from going to other avenues or allowing them to make money off of their likeness and things of that nature, that alone should have given Reggie Bush not only the Heisman back, but ended his disassociation with USC. And I'm still not perfectly okay with that. Oh, we're associated again. They only did that because it was the end of a 10-year rule of the disassociation because of something. They didn't come out and was like, oh, hey, Reggie, come back because, we feel this strongly about it. They disassociated themselves from Reggie Bush, which I still think is messed up. I'm happy for Reggie Bush that he's able to go back to his alma mater because I think that he should be able to, and I think that he was a big reason for USC and their ascension in the early 2000s and them becoming a household team.
The whole
so from the very beginning, I think it was effed up that they didn't stick with him as a school, knowing that they did what they did. They're the ones who paid for that apartment and whatnot, or that house for his parents while he was at school there. I felt really bad for Reggie Bush when all of this went down. I still feel bad that he had to go through that. And I think Paul Feinbaum was on ESPN saying that he took improper benefits, so he should have blah, 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 have to deal with it. That's a screwed up take from an old guy that doesn't understand the current landscape of what's going on. So I'm completely on Reggie Bush's side here, and I think he should get the Heisman back tomorrow.
Yeah, he should have never given it back for sure. It was in his house, bro. He should have never given it back. Point blank, period. It's pretty good timing, though, that now players are being able to pay for their likeliness, and it just so happens to be the end of that 10-year time period. So I guess it's good timing, but like you said, they're going to need it to help with recruiting, to help from keeping players from going any other route. So let's see if I'm sure Reggie Bush will come back just because he's a pretty good guy.
Hell yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know about OJ Mayo. Has he come out and publicly said that he's cool with USC again, or is it just
there hasn't been a lot of publications on what OJ has said?
Yeah, so I don't know if OJ Mayo is going to be cool with USC, but I'm sure Reggie Bush will appreciate being back on campus, and hopefully they can incorporate him and even have him work just like how Ricky Williams works for Texas.
Well, Reggie's part of the Fox family right now.
Oh, okay. So then, they're not going to be.
He is part of the Fox family. You're right.
But it'll be because, dude, like Roland said, he gave USC that image, bros. Probably the craziest college football highlights
of all time
you could see.
Ben, you're on to something, and this is what I think they should do. Give him a statue.
A statue?
Yeah, he needs one too. Hell yeah. I mean, he won a national championship while he was there. He won the Heisman.
He's got to have a Heisman statue. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, give him a statue outside the stadium.
Kind of cost them that game against Texas with that pitch on that run. But, hey, thank you, Reggie. We still appreciate that. But, yeah, a statue, that's not a bad idea, man.
Yeah. Hey, as long as Reggie doesn't go out and try to do what the other USC running back did to get his Heisman back. If y'all remember what I'm talking about here, O.J. Simpson and had to serve some time for some situations like that. No. All right, well, one other topic for college football, and I think this is a positive. Ed Orgeron, LSU head coach, coming off his natty, said everybody who plays from LSU from here on out will be registered to vote. Now, he didn't say necessarily I'm going to get my players out to vote, but they definitely need to get registered to vote. What's y'all's opinion on that as far as mixing politics and college football at that age?
I don't think he's mixing politics because he's not telling them what side to vote.
Yeah, not to tell them what to vote.
He's just kind of telling them, hey, you have this right, and this is a right that you should take advantage of.
Yeah,
because it means something. So by him, it's kind of like how you go to college and all the players say, hey, this coach taught me how to be a man and he made me a man. Well, this is just another step in that, bro. I mean, it may not be on the field or whatever, but hey, get registered to vote. You see LeBron now starting his Just Vote program. It's not just in the college ranks, but if you have a whole football team and all the guys that register to vote, that's about 70 people that may not be registered, young teens, if not in their early 20s. So it's just a good leadership move by Orgeron. He's not forcing their hand to even go and vote. Just register. All right? It's your right. That's good. I
agree 100%. I think it's a great thing. He's not trying to sway them one way or the other. Yeah. And I think it just all comes down to awareness. You just need to be aware of your rights, what you can do as a citizen of the United States, and really what your vote means. I think he's just trying to educate a lot of these guys, because I mean, when you're at that level, you're playing at LSU, politics isn't necessarily on your mind. You're just really trying to do the next thing that you can do to make sure that you're starting and you can go to the league and whatnot. And I think Ed Orgeron's is doing a good job of just making them aware of what they are and what those guys are as people and citizens, and not just football players, essentially. Like, you're still a person. You're not just a football player. Like, you have a say, and you can do this, and you can vote, and you can make your cause known by voting, and that's one of the avenues that you have as an American. So I think that's a good thing. It's kind of the opposite of Mike Gundy, who came out with that alt-right shirt that was out on Twitter these days, or these past couple of days, with Chuba Hubbard coming out and saying that he wasn't going to associate coming out and saying that he wasn't going to associate with Oklahoma State until some action was taken. Then you saw that little awkward interaction between Hubbard and Mike Gundy in that awkward Instagram video, which I thought was weird. And then Gundy came down and he actually had a video by himself where he came out and apologized and whatnot, trying to get the point through that he was sincere, because I don't think people were convinced by the first video. But definitely a great sign for Ed Orgeron, and it just shows that he's thinking beyond football, and he's really trying to shape these guys as men. So it's good to see that. And I think it's going to, I mean, just to relate this to football and whatever, I think it's going to be even better for him going forward. It's going to earn a lot of goodwill with parents and people
another
going
recruiting
forward. Exactly. I know that's not what he's intending it for, but it's one of those things that happens when you're doing right and you're actually trying to be a good person. Good things happen. So yeah, good things to come for LSU.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like what Ben alluded to. It's when you get those coaches who teach these young boys to become young men, and I think that's a great recruiting tool on itself. Not that it needs to be promoted, but people look at those things and people see, hey, this guy's into character development just as much as he is into developing these into players. So
and he's serious about it.
That's something to look at.
As brownie points with all the moms out there. As
brownie points with the mom. And like you said, Roland, with the whole Chuba and or Chuba, however you say his name, and Gundy.
Cool name, bro, we got to get it right. That's
Gundy had to get that right away, because
he messed up with that first one.
Chuba or Chuba, whatever you want to say, I cannot say his name. Chuba. That's their number one player right now. I mean, he could have went to the league last season. I was surprised he stayed. He's one of the best running backs in the country. Yeah. So you got to get that right away.
And that just a little background for people who don't know what that shirt stands for. It's a news station that has become popular due to them like nut hugging the president. So I didn't know about it. So I just went to their Twitter page, and they were pushing stuff like that old 75-year-old man that the Buffalo Police Department pushed down.
Oh, he was
an undercover spy.
Yeah, they're super right-wing.
Propaganda. A lot of propaganda.
They're not even on TV, I believe, right? They don't have a cable network. It's an online publication.
Website.
Yeah.
But they've gained a lot of traction recently because they're like, in really good with the president. Yeah. And they give him those softball questions. So they've been making a name for themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, they know what to do there. Well, that's going to be it for college sports. We're about to get into the NFL. We're going to have a guest on here, so let's see what happens.
Let's get it.
All right, we're back with NFL as promised. This week we got Ben's little brother, Leo Diaz, on. Leo, tell us about your week, man. How was your week?
It's been pretty good so far, bro. Just social distancing, playing some 2K, Apex Legends. Been
Apex
about
King,
it.
Right?
Gaming.
Yeah, sure, bro.
That's cool, man.
All day.
All right. Well, as you know,
he's our 2K center now too. I like that.
Oh, is he?
Hey, he's an 81 overall center, but he gets them blocked.
He's playing some defense.
Damn, I need to get back on 2K. Man.
His guy just has the brown shirt and the long. He looks like a janitor.
Oh, he's just got the default uniform.
Yeah,
he's
Boardman gets paid.
Block, bro.
Boardman gets paid. Boardman gets paid.
All right, like as we start with NFL, we like to just talk about some quick news and quick hitters that came up through the week. This week we saw Cam Newton, and he was working out with OBJ. There's some video footage Does that possibly mean any potential for Cam to the Browns if Baker's not working out?
No, I just think that was just a little workout that they got together. I think he'd be too much of a threat to Baker Mayfield in the starting quarterback position.
So it's a bad look for them if they sign.
I don't think it's going to get signed.
If you want to rattle Baker, sign Cam.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he'll tuck his tail between his legs, bro, and he'll take over just as fast as Baker took over for Tyrod. It's too much ego, persona. Cam's just a big fucking dude, and Baker's this little guy. Like, not a good move, a good look for OBJ. Hey, maybe he just wanted some decent balls thrown at him.
They didn't get any last year.
Yeah.
Also giving Cam some exposure. So I mean, that's cool for OBJ. That's cool for them to link up.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'd be a bad move as well. Baker's confidence is pretty shaky most of the time. Having a high-profile backup wouldn't be good for that.
For sure.
I think by mid-season, you'd have Browns fans calling for Cam to start, and that'd be a disaster.
Yeah, the fans would be
finicky fan base too.
Like game 2.
I didn't even bring that. I didn't even think about that. But the fans would be on his ass first reception game.
They're ruthless, bro. They want to win in season.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I don't know if you guys saw, but Lamar Jackson was on this jet ski, and supposedly he took a pretty bad tumble. I mean, this is your number one guy, MVP. Is this what you want as a owner or even GM, a coach, seeing your guy do your main ball handler? I mean, the guy who's getting the most snaps here, you know?
Hey, he's dedicated, bro. Even on the beach, he tucks it and runs.
Yeah,
And I heard Shannon Sharp say, "Hey, Skip, you know he was playing with his real homeboys. Only a real homie would push you into a jet ski, Skip."
Dang.
Hey, he jumped over that jet ski quite nicely too, though. He avoided contact
at all. Yeah, they said he wasn't injured at all. But that's wild, bro. Like, just to be going that all out in beach football is pretty crazy.
The type of guy that he
well,
is.
Not only that, but just to be at the beach, not socially distancing and other things, you know.
Saucy, Justin. All right.
We'll leave that for Dr. Saucy. My bad, Doctor.
That looked okay by what I was able to see and determine.
Yeah. Leo, what do you think?
I just think it's wild, dude. I mean, he just won MVP, yeah, but he's still waiting on that second contract. I'd just be home chilling right now, not doing anything to risk my health, dude. Like, my heart froze just seeing that, and I'm a Seahawks fan. Like, I can't imagine Ravens fans.
All right, yeah, that's crazy. All right,
Madden got boring. Madden got boring, I heard it.
This last quick hitter, probably something I never thought I would hear, but Donald Trump says that he somewhat supports Colin Kaepernick's NFL return, and he said if Kaepernick deserved to be on a team, he should be. Is this just, Donald Trump trying to save some face here? Is this disingenuous? What is this? What do y'all think this is?
I think he's just trying to save face, to be honest. I think it's 3 years ago. He said we need to get that son of a bitch off the field and get him fired. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you come back from that, honestly, but he's trying it, and we'll see how that goes.
4 months before an election, that's how you come back from it. You apologize and you save grace. But, yeah, wild, man. I know I heard already that the Chargers, I was about to say San Diego, and I got stuck. But the LA Chargers and their coach Lynn actually already said that he kind of fits their scheme. That they haven't talked about bringing him in for a workout yet, but it's something that they are going to discuss. So there's one of those teams who we've been talking about all off season we were saying Cam Newton, and now they're ready for Cap. So is it a publicity stunt? Because they just drafted a QB at number 6.
I do think they are a quarterback away from being competitive, too, the Chargers at least, because they have a pretty good defense. Their offense, as you know, they have some pretty good weapons there. But Donald Trump, I think you guys hit it right on the head. Just trying to save face. I don't know that he's completely genuine about what he's saying, but I just don't really pay attention to anything that Donald Trump says. It's just pretty interesting that he's making a complete 180 after everything that's going on with Colin Kaepernick and the Black Lives Movement right now.
We
But
knew Goodell had to.
once-
We knew Goodell had to, but for Trump, it is kind of
And
like.
so, we're going to really see his true colors when the NFL season comes on and there's players protesting. Because that's what's going to happen. There's going to be players kneeling and stuff like that. So if Donald Trump is really true about it, he's not going to mind about the
Maybe we
protest.
see it as far as early as the NBA season when they come back too.
True. Exactly.
And we'll see exactly what happens with the MLB if they come back, and that's America's pastime, and some of them are protesting. It's going to be real interesting to see how he responds.
I could see
I agree.
Bregman taking a knee. I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
I was going to say the MLB is the league with the least African Americans, but like Leo said, a lot of those guys that feed off of that culture and like that music or whatever it may be, bro, the shoes, whatever it may be, everybody's into that. And if they think that it's right, they're going to take a stand. So that's why he says Bregman. Bregman's always seen with a bunch of rappers and if not Deshaun Watson or some of the NFL guys. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the NFL topic here for this week. It's going to be top 10 running backs going into 2021 season. Man, this has been a good topic for us. We started with the quarterbacks. We went into the receivers. The feedback's been pretty good online through Twitter and Facebook. Everybody has an idea of what position, who's number one, and where they go and whatnot. So this is fun, and it's speculation. This is not something we can always prove who's exactly number one. But
hey, speak for yourself, Just.
But this is the fun topic, and I think we'll go ahead and we'll just go with Ben since he's here chirping right away. Who's number one, Ben?
Hey, I ain't chirping, I'm barking.
All right,
this guy plays
one,
two
Ben?
positions. This guy plays two positions.
Yeah, hey, who's one?
Yeah.
Number 10, the guy who I was getting all this slack from last week, whether it was a buddy on Instagram saying, bro, how can you put McCaffrey at number 10? Or somebody else saying, oh, I didn't know McCaffrey lined up out wide. And then there was one dude, Joaquin, on YouTube, who actually said, hey, if Khalil Mack could be an all-pro at two different positions, why can't McCaffrey? And I agreed, but McCaffrey just wasn't an all-pro at receiver. But he very well could have been based on his numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be unanimous too. Y'all are talking smack, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be unanimous. But number one, the great white hope, Christian McCaffrey.
Yep, I got CMC too. I think it just goes without being said, but 1,000 and 1,000. I mean, you have a guy that does that for you. He touched the ball over 300 times or what have you for the team, or it looks like over 400 times, honestly. So
He didn't get
he's a
hurt.
workhorse. He produces. CMC is my number one running back.
Leo?
Yeah, same here. He's my number one. They had a no-namer at QB. I don't even remember his name, to be honest.
Kyle Allen.
There you go, Kyle.
Hey,
Allen.
Leo, me neither, and he whooped our ass when I
Yeah,
went.
I remember clowning you for that. I remember that.
But I forgot his name, honestly.
Yeah, but he's a do-it-all back, man. He's good enough for my brother to have him top 10 at receiver. I don't agree with him, but I kind of see his point. You can't really argue.
You just
I see
wanted
your point.
Metcalf at 10, like I said, after McCaffrey. That's all you wanted.
Yeah, number one for me, it's McCaffrey. Easy here, all-purpose back, gets it done two ways. The only one that can do it maybe as close to him would be the Giants running back Saquon, but he doesn't do it as good as McCaffrey does, at least right now.
So I take it that's your number two, Justin?
So leading into that would be my number two, Saquon.
Back-to-back years with over 100 catches. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so leading into number two, Saquon for me. Again, somewhat of an all-purpose back. Maybe doesn't have the receiving skill set that McCaffrey does, but man, that guy, when he's on the field, probably one of the best players at all times when he's on the field. So,
Oh, that's my number two, too. That's my number two, too. Damn, I'm dropping bars.
there we go.
That's my number two also. But it's crazy because of the difference in the build between him and McCaffrey. Like, you see Saquon and his legs are like tree trunks. And the whole thing about McCaffrey coming out of Stanford was, can he run between the tackles? And here we are, bro, calling him the best running back. Some people had him in their MVP talks last year. We know it's always going to go to a quarterback. but he was very deserving last year. But yeah, Saquon, he's on a shitty team. He had a rookie quarterback, and the reason that the rookie quarterback looked half decent, in my opinion, is because the box was being stacked all the time for Saquon. So you have those one-on-one matchups. All Daniel Jones has to do is hit the receiver. That's something that's going to keep happening this season. But regardless, I think that Saquon, barring injury, he's still going to be putting up those numbers. So I got him at number 2.
All right.
Nice.
Rolling.
Let's keep it me. Okay. Man, I'm gonna disagree with the two guys that just said Saquon. I'm going with my boy Zeke Elliott. Man, I mean, this guy, ever since he's come into the league, has been nothing but productive. Other than that year that he was out because of suspension, he didn't get to 1,000 yards. He only played 10 games, but he still averaged about 98 yards. He finished the year with about 980 yards rushing that year, and he's been the rushing champ twice. He's been involved in the passing game. He's on an elite offense. He has a great offensive line in front of him, and that's kind of why I would favor him over Saquon Barkley. And then also, I mean, other than that year that he only played 10 games because of suspension, he's been one of the more durable backs and one of the guys that you can count on. He's only missed 1 or 2 games. I think he missed 1 game his rookie season, 1 game his third year, and I think he played all 16 games last year. So he's a durable back. He's going to be there for you, and he's productive, and he even catches it out of the backfield. The last 2 years, he's had 77 and 54 receptions. So he's productive out of the backfield as a receiver. He's a do-it-all back, and he's, I think, the best pure runner out of the top 10.
At my number 2, I got Derrick Henry. He completely carried them to the AFC title game. My God, like I cannot believe what he was doing in the playoffs. It was just ridiculous.
Leo always shits on Tannehill, so it was like strictly Derrick Henry.
Bro, it's like the Jags with Blake Bortles. Like it was strictly running game that got them to that game.
He took out the Ravens, bro. Derrick Henry took out the Ravens.
Yep.
He made a Hall of Fame safety and Earl Thomas into his lead blocker. It was ridiculous how he just turned him around.
Turned him to a meme.
Yeah, dude. Like he's my number 2 for sure.
All right. Number 3 for me is Roland's number 2, Ezekiel Elliott. A running back with great vision. For me, what stands out with him a lot, pass protection. Man, I love to see him pick up blocks more than any other running back because he really lays it in, man. So for me, if I could have put 2A, it would have been him, but I'm just going to give that edge to Saquon and put Zeke at 3.
Yeah, I'll follow up just because you said it all. So I got Zeke at 3 also. Saquon's just a better athlete, and Zeke has Corona, so he's number 3. It's that easy, bro. I mean, it's that easy.
My rankings came out before I found out that he had the Rona, but I still wouldn't knock him down.
Hey, Roland would have thrown him at number 10 like every other guy.
Nah, he's 2. He's still 2 for me. My number 3, I'll make it quick because you guys hit on all the key points on him, at least Justin and Ben did. Is Saquon Barkley. I think he's a do-it-all back. His first year in the league, he had 90 catches out of the backfield. He's the only reason why it's worth watching the Giants on offense these past couple of years now that they got rid of OBJ. I think he's gotten a little bit more help from the offensive line through their draft and other moves that they've made. And I think Daniel Jones might make a little bit of a jump this year. So Saquon's going to follow up this second year that he was kind of injured and whatnot. He's going to have a big year this year. He's my number 3 running back.
My number 3, I had Dalvin Cook. He had 1,100 yards, 13 TDs, and 500 receiving yards. I'm not really a big fan of Kirk Cousins, and let's be honest, Dalvin Cook takes them as far as they can go. He's a do-it-all back, and I got him at number 3.
He's 47% of their offense this past year. It's ridiculous.
He deserves to be paid. See you later.
That's fair.
All right. At number 4 was Leo's number 2 for me, Derrick Henry. If he would have been last year, I wouldn't have had Henry on this list as high. But the production he came out with last season, man, and that AFC game with the Ravens and turning around one of my favorite players, Earl Thomas, Longhorn fan, man, he was something else. And it allowed Tannehill not to have to throw as much. It gave them ball control and time of possession control. And I mean, that guy is a train running downfield. It is hard to bring that man down.
Yeah.
It's
He's a
something
physical.
else seeing him run. So it's
He's like
Henry for me,
size of
man.
defense end, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's a physical specimen.
Absolutely.
He's extremely fast. He's probably the strongest guy on the field when he has the ball in his hands. Hardest guy to take down. He's my number 4 also, just to follow up with what Justin's saying. And just to add a little bit more, I mean, leading up to this year, my sentiment on him was like, he's the guy who'll hit the home run every once in a while, beef up his stats at the end of the game or something. Because he had a couple of those big games at the end of the 2018 season at the end of the game where he wouldn't have really anything and he'd bust off an 80-yard run or a 70-yarder or something crazy to ice the game, win the game, whatever. And so I thought of him as like a fringe top 10, maybe top 15 running back, but I think he really put it all together this year. He's the reigning rushing champ, so yeah, he's my number 4.
Yeah, same for me. I think Justin copied off my paper because we've had the exact. Hey, bro, we've had the exact same top 4.
My list was up.
He did that with me on quarterback.
A few days before your list was up.
If Derrick Henry played the Texans 16 times, he'd be the number 32 ranked running back in the league. But he doesn't, so that's why he's my number 4.
I like that.
So the Texans know how to contain him.
Exactly. Look it up.
No,
Look
they
it up.
have. They have.
Google Scott.
All right, there's the end of the top 5 coming up.
Leo, who's your 4?
At 4, I got Saquon. He had a couple injuries this year. Bit of a down year compared to his rookie year, but I think he could get back up to like 2 or 3 for sure this coming year.
Oh, definitely.
So who's your 5, Leo?
My 5 would be Zeke, and I say that as a Cowboys hater. I'm not going to hide it. I can't stand y'all.
That's fine.
Hey,
That's
it's because y'all beat him in the playoffs 2 years ago, Roland. That's why.
I understand.
I'll go next. At 5, I got Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook had his best season last year, and Dalvin Cook was my fantasy football running back. So all I know about Dalvin Cook is goodness. Mm-hmm. And I do know that he's got an injury-riddled past because last season was the most games that he's played since coming into the league. Like Leo said, pay the man. He's on a contract year. I was going to say he's going to play even better because he's on a contract year, but he's already said that he will not come back unless he gets paid. Kind of worries me. I might have ranked him higher. Usually when running backs get paid, man, their stats just seem to decline. Their production, I'm looking for the word like as in their ambition or like they got paid so they said.
Yeah, like their drive falls down.
Right. That's what I was looking for, drive. So that's where I'm at. But still Dalvin Cook, number 5. I think that team goes as far as Dalvin Cook goes, like Leo said.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook, he rounds out my top 5 also. I kind of like him as a better football player than Derrick Henry. I think he's a little bit more of an all-around back than Derrick Henry at my number 4. But the only reason why I didn't rank him so high, Ben hit on it at the beginning of his take, was he does have an injury-riddled past, and I like a guy who's there for me. I like a durable running back. He showed that he was durable this past year. He produced, and I hit it a little bit earlier. Anytime somebody is 47% of your offensive output, that's a good thing for that player, at least. Not necessarily for your offense, that you're that dependent on one player, but it just shows you that he's that good, that you trust him with that many touches. So, yeah, Dalvin Cook's my number 5.
Number 5 for me is Nick Chubb out of Georgia, the Browns running back. Just a pretty good running back through the tackles and can be explosive at times. And I like him at 5 for me.
All right.
And to move on to 6 for me, just because it's already been said, Dalvin Cook, pretty consistent running back, year in, year out, definitely needs to get paid.
Yep. Roland, who you got at 6?
My number 6, and this is kind of my theme with my list. I like guys who can kind of do it all, kind of guys who are out of the backfield receivers and guys who can run the ball for you. And without further ado, my number 6 is Alvin Kamara. I think he's a highlight reel when he's on the field. He, like I said, he does it all. He's had about 80 catches every year since he's come in the league, so he's been a consistent receiver. His rushing has gotten better, I think. As long as he's able to put together a full season, I think we'll see him over 1,000 yards rushing, and I think he has a possibility of getting close to 600, 700 yards receiving next year also. So, yeah, he's my number 6. Just need to see more out of him as a runner to rank.
That's my number 6 also, Roland, and he wasn't a very high draft pick. So the Saints kind of hit it out of the park with him. He had that beast rookie year when he just burst onto the scene, and last year he did get injured. He finished with 797 yards receiving. He still had 81 receptions last year. So you're definitely going to get about 500 yards if you're having 81 receptions. That's an all-around back. If we were doing this podcast this time last year, Alvin Kamara would be in all of our top 5s. Due to the year that he had last year and a little bit of his injuries and our question marks, that's why he's at number 6 for me as well.
Hey, Ben, just a fun fact. Alvin Kamara was part of that recruiting class. I went to Alabama. He was a 5-star recruit with Drake, Henry, and Yeldon.
That beast running back.
And he moved over to Tennessee because he couldn't break through as a starter there.
And he was there with another really good Tennessee running back, a bigger guy, but he's
took playing receiver now.
Who's that?
Jalen Hurd.
Jalen Hurd. He took back, and bro, I liked him a lot, man. He reminded me of Arian Foster.
Yeah, that coach messed him up, though, man.
Carries.
That coach messed him up.
Yeah.
Remember we had them as one of our favorite overs back in the day for their season title.
Who you got at 6, Leo?
At 6, I got Nick Chubb, close to 1,500 yards last year. I think he's held back a bit by Baker's inconsistent play. They kind of stacked the box on him. You really can't get it out there to OBJ. I think he'd be a lot better with a better quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, Roland.
My number 7, Leo just hit on him, is Nick Chubb. And the only reason why I didn't have him a little higher, initially when I was thinking about this list, I had him maybe in that 5 slot. The only reason why I don't have him a little higher, I think Leo hit on it. 1, he's held back because of where he's playing right now. And 2, I think he's going to be a potential candidate for having some carries taken away from him now that Kareem Hunt is in the backfield and is a little bit more solidified on that team with the Cleveland Browns. I think we had already seen that happen at the end of last year. Nick Chubb's stats went down a little bit as Kareem Hunt got acclimated in the offense. So that's the only reason I don't have him ranked higher. But as a pure player, running back, mixing the power and the finesse, he's as good as it gets. So, yeah, definitely top 10 running back.
Yeah, for me at number 7, this guy was a rookie last year, Josh Jacobs. Young guy, played good for the Raiders, man. Only played 13 games, had 1,150 yards in 13 games. So he clips the 1,000 yard mark as a rookie. The Raiders really didn't have much to play for towards the end of the year, and he had a little bit of a shoulder injury, so they didn't rush him back and play him. Another guy who I had on my fantasy team, and I was glad that I grabbed him like in the 4th round last year. He produced, man. If he would have played all of his games, he could have had 1,500 yards. In 13 games to have 1,150, I mean, give the guy 3 more. So I expect big things from him. We know that they added a wide receiver out of Alabama in the draft. Should open up the offense more. Yeah, and as long as he stays healthy, I got big expectations for Josh Jacobs.
I like that pick a lot.
Since me and Ben got the same 7, it's Josh Jacobs for me as well. Rookie running back, but I liked a lot what I saw. Like Ben said, only 13 games, so we'll see what he does here with the full season. I got big expectations for him. Very physical runner. Leo, you're 7?
At 7, I got Alvin Kamara. Like they mentioned before, he's a do-it-all back, pass game, running game. He's pretty damn good. I know Breeze can't really sling it as much as before, but he's good for dink and dunk now. That works off of Kamara.
That's right, Leo. That's right.
And he gave us fits this year when we played him. They just could not tackle him, man. It was a frustrating game. He's my number 7.
I'll go as number 8 just because I got the same guy Leo had. It's Alvin Kamara. I probably would have had him a little higher on this list, except for that drop-off in receiving this past year. But, yeah, I'll do it all back. Speedster, quick. Put some of the Cowboys on skates last season. I don't know if y'all saw those games. But
he got lit up, though. He got lit up.
No, he did, but
what's his name? Jalen Smith.
But when he put us on skates, man, golly, that was not not an easy watch for me.
Like a helmet to helmet too.
I remember Taysom Hill running over y'all safety. I think it was.
We're not
Yeah,
talking
I
about
mean,
Taysom
everybody
Hill,
runs
we're not
over
talking
Heath,
about
man.
that.
Everybody runs over Heath.
Quarterback rankings were 2 weeks ago, Leon. All right.
Yeah. Let's keep it running back. Let's keep it
At
running
number
back.
8, I got Nick
Next
Chubb.
topic.
At number 8, I got Nick Chubb, pretty much based off Kareem Hunt. He didn't get to play 10 games last year. When he did come on, it brought down his production a little bit. Nowadays, we really see a running back by committee thing. We see like a dual-headed monster in the backfields. We don't see very much of the workhorses, except for the guys who we have in our top 5 that are those do-it-all backs. I know Nick Chubb can catch and run the ball. Like we said, he's out of Georgia, one of the running back U's. But I expect his stats to go down a little bit this year with a full year of Kareem Hunt. So that's why I have him where I have him.
Good deal.
Rolling.
What are we on? We're on number 8?
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 8 is Joe Mixon for me. Joe Mixon, I think he gets overlooked a little bit just because he's on a crappy team in the Cincinnati Bengals, usually at the top of the draft. They just got a new quarterback, everybody knows, in Burrow, so hopefully that's a little bit of a boost to their offense. But even without that, last year, he's ultra productive. I mean, he had 1,000 yards rushing, and he's pretty good out of the backfield. Doesn't have the stats of the guys in the top 5 or even the top 7 in terms of receiving for me, but when given the opportunity, he produces, and he's produced the last 2 years. So yeah, I have him at number 8.
Leo,
At
you're
number 8, I had Aaron Jones from the Packers.
Okay.
He had 16 rushing touchdowns, 1,000 yards rushing, and close to 500 receiving. I feel like Aaron Rodgers took a bit of a step back this year, and this dude really, really took up some of that slack.
Okay.
I don't know why they drafted a running back, to be honest, because this dude's
Yeah, that's
solid.
messed up.
And they had another running back in Williams who was
Jamal
kind of
Williams.
helping
Yeah.
Aaron Jones also.
They seem set, but I don't know what their draft was about this year. It was-
Yeah.
Questionable draft. Is that everyone's number 8?
No, he's already on 9, right? Or
No, so everybody had number 8 though.
Right.
All right, my
Yeah.
number 9, like Leo said, at number 8 was Aaron Jones for me. Like Leo said, Aaron was able to take a step back because you had a good runner in Aaron Jones this year.
All right.
Good deal.
Leo,
Who's
who you
your-
got?
At number 9, I'm doing some home cooking right here. I got Chris Carson.
Oh, my God.
1,200 rushing yards. Missed a couple games. We really missed him at the end of the year. I'm not gonna lie. I think we could have won the division if he was playing that game against the Niners. Needed a physical runner for that game. We were relying on Marshawn after he was selling margaritas the week before. It was pretty
Smoking joints.
ridiculous.
Leo,
Honestly. I love Marshawn, but I mean,
you have a Marshawn jersey on. You said we needed a physical runner.
That's Chris
and
Carson,
we
though.
had Marshawn. So you're telling me Marshawn's not a physical runner?
one that wasn't selling margaritas in a parking lot the week before.
Selling. Hey, selling
prefaced it
and
with that.
intaking are complete different things. Marshawn's got probably the most physical run in NFL history, bro.
Yeah, but he's not in his prime.
He's
Hey,
not. He's not.
He's not 25 years old.
But when we say we need a physical running back, you don't follow it. Well, we had Marshawn. He was physical.
Yeah. Like I prefaced it with, he came off the couch literally. He got a TD that game. I get it, but man, he was taking oxygen after every run.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
like we need something better.
He was
But
struggle
with
running.
Carson, I think he could be higher in the future. He just has a fumble issue, man. Like there was so many games where he costed us. The Saints game, the Ravens game are the two biggest ones, man. He fumbled for a touchdown. He fumbled on a key drive late in the game. Like he just needs to secure the ball.
I'm not gonna poop on that Carson pick. I think he's right outside my top 10. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not pooping on that Carson pick because I have him right at number 9 myself. I think he's a good mix of power, and he's stepped up his receiving game in the last year also. He was on pace to have over 50 receptions before he got hurt, and as Leo alluded to, as long as he can eradicate that fumble problem, because 7 fumbles is a lot for a running back. That's a problem.
Hey,
I mean, if he wasn't so talented, he would not be on my top 10. But I like what he is as a pure runner. He's a hard down the field runner. It's hard to bring him down. And like I said, he's stepped up his receiving game, and he's going to be that all-around back this coming year. Just give him a full year, and he did lose out on some stats because of those fumbles. He found himself in the doghouse a couple of games. So he just needs to get over that, and he could be in my top 5 by the end of the year.
Yeah, a quick note that I'll just say on him, not that he's in my top 10, but just because I saw a lot of him last year as he was on my fantasy squad. The thing is, Pete Carroll doesn't shy from giving him the ball, even though he's fumbled. And he'll verbally say, we're committed to Chris Carson. So as long as he doesn't go down from injury, he could be in the top 10. But he's got to fix the fumbling, yeah. But Pete Carroll's still going to hand him off the ball, regardless. So he does have that potential staying healthy. My number 9, Kenyan Drake. A dude, I know, probably not going to be in anybody else's top 10. But last year, only 2 running backs had a better second half of the season. It just so happened the second half of the season was when Kenyan Drake got traded from the tanking Miami Dolphins to the Arizona Cardinals. In those 8 games, Kenyan Drake, 123 carries, 643 yards, and 8 touchdowns, averaging a touchdown a game, 5.2 yards a carry. 5.2 yards a carry, that's half a first down every time he touches the ball.
Hey, Ben.
What's up?
I think the people want to know, are the Cardinals your favorite team now?
The Cardinals aren't my favorite team, but the Cardinals are one of my favorite offenses. Okay, Patrick Peterson's on their defense. Other than that, and they drafted that rookie out of LSU.
Don't forget Chandler Jones.
Yeah,
the most sacks past 4 years.
Pretty good, man.
But even the rookie they drafted out of LSU, who we were all touting, and it ended up falling to them, and they fucking
from Clemson. Jonathan Simmons.
Yeah, outside linebacker, right?
The do-it-all guy, safety, linebacker. Regardless, though, Arizona, their offensive base. Cliff Kingsbury comes from Texas Tech. Defense isn't in his vocabulary, so he's got to score 50 in college to win. 50 in college translates to 30 in the NFL. If you got to score 30 in the NFL and Kenyan Drake's your starting running back, you didn't cut, but you told David Johnson, hey, we're done with you. This is my first year here. I'm going to go and trade for the guy that I want. I want Kenyan Drake. It just so happened that the Dolphins were tanking. They gave the Texans Tunzel and Stills, and they gave the Cardinals Kenyan Drake. If in 8 games you're scoring a touchdown a game and you're averaging 5 yards, you added DeAndre Hopkins, 2 Larry Fitzgerald, and Christian Kirk in the slot. Bro, that offense is going to be crazy. I had Kyler Murray in my top 10. I had DeAndre Hopkins in my top 10. Kenyan Drake's in my top 10. Kenyan Drake could finish in the top 5 if that offense does what it's supposed to do.
And the Cardinals will win the Super Bowl.
No. The Cardinals could be in the playoffs. Hey, bro, like I said, the Cardinals' offense is going to be epic, man. Their defense,
So
I'm not going to fend.
For getting out of the West.
I'm not going to fend for them. But have
That's
you?
right, they have an extra playoff spot though.
Have the Cardinals gained a step on the Seahawks? Yes or no?
I mean,
offensively, maybe
They've gotten
I
better.
still haven't seen them.
Well, the Seahawks
cohesive
just
unit.
lost their best defensive player in Clowney.
they haven't lost him. He's still
There's
out.
Bobby
there.
Wagner still there.
Hey, okay, boy, you still have hope. Okay, we all know now.
Hey, we didn't
Yeah,
trade away.
I
our
thought
best
Bobby Wagner
player.
was still there, right?
I'll leave it at that.
Bro, all I'm saying is Kenyan Drake in that offense, we're all expecting big things from that offense. And he did it last year in the 8 games. If we double up that, he's got 1,200 yards and 16 touchdowns. He's in all of our top 5s.
I hear what you're saying, but Kingsbury has never liked to run the ball. Adding Hopkins is just going to take away touches from Drake as well. So we'll see how he does stat-wise. But I get your argument there.
And receiving yards, he had 28 receptions.
He's a do-it-all back.
He's a do-it-all back, and he's 6'1". I thought he was a lot smaller than that.
No, he's
He's
talented.
I have big expectations for Kenyan Drake, and I expect him to be going high in fantasy football drafts this year as well.
Hey, he sent David Johnson packing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Roland, you're number 10. Since your number 10 is the only one that's different from ours.
My number 10, I think he's in everybody's top 10 except for Leo's, from what I'm looking at here, is Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs. The only reason why I don't have him a little higher is because he only had 1 year. He didn't play the full season, but while he did play, he was ultra productive. And I think he's going to be a workhorse for John Gruden going forward in that Raider offense. He's just going to be catching the ball out of the backfield. Obviously, he's going to rush it over 250 times next year, or maybe even close to 300 with a full 16 games, as he ended with 242 at 13. So he's going to be a workhorse. I like Josh Jacobs, and he's another guy that I like to move up in these rankings throughout the year.
Yeah, at number 10, I got Joe Mixon. He didn't have much quarterback help last year. He can run. And he's going to have Joe Burrow now, so I expect him to lay heavy on Joe Mixon, whether it's dink and dunk or running. And he rounds off my top 10. I got to pee.
All right, yeah, 10 for me. Mixon as well. He's been consistent all his career. With Joe Burrow, I expect him to get some more touches and continue what he's done since he came out of Oklahoma.
Speaking of John Gruden, I really missed that guy on Monday Night Football, man. Booger was ridiculous last year.
I'm so glad that they got rid of Booger, though. Yeah, I mean, no offense to Booger, but I mean, him and Jason Witten had to have been the worst combination of all time. Like, I was really happy that Jason Witten went back to play football, so I didn't have to hear him anymore. Not so much that he was on the team.
I was happy about that as well.
Yeah.
Real quick, Leo, your 10 was also Joe Mixon, right?
Yeah, I had Mixon at 10. I think a full season with Joe Burrow will be pretty good. I think he's going to be offensive rookie of the year for sure. A lot better than Dalton was last year, I think, and he'll have a full season of AJ Green. I don't think he played a game last year, so that'll definitely help in the running game.
Where do you see the Bengals at now with Burrow?
Over 500? I don't see them making the playoffs, but I could see like maybe 7-9, 6-10, somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah,
improving for sure.
So under 500, but improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Still last place in the North for me.
Burrow showed out last year, man. He was a man possessed in the playoffs.
Do you think the Bengals will be better than the Browns this next year?
That's a tough one, man. I know the Browns addressed their O-line a bit. They had they signed Jack Conklin, I want to say, and they took another tackle in the draft. So that'll definitely help Baker with more time. But I still see the Bengals finishing last, but a close to Cleveland, I want to say.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, Leo, man, it was good having you on. Tell us, you want to plug anything? Is there anything that's going on with you?
I guess just my Twitter. You can find me at LeoD1133. Talk about sports, politics, wrestling, of course. If you want to give me a follow, that's fine.
All right, you heard him. Follow
Leo, real quick, since I know you're an avid basketball fan, and we're going to be talking about this more as we get closer to the NBA season coming back. Who do you like in this comeback? Any teams that you think are going to win?
I think the Clippers should definitely be the favorite. Top to bottom, they're the best team in the league, in my opinion. They got a deep bench. They got 2 star wing players, which is what you need in today's game. And they're really good defense. I think they're the best defense in the league as well.
So you think they take it?
Yeah, I would take, if I had to put money on it, I'd put the Clippers. I think the Lakers and Bucks are really top heavy, and that's going to be their biggest competition, in my opinion.
There we go. Nice.
Smart guy. All right. Appreciate it, Leo.
Thanks, Leo. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Later.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game.
Me. Bam, bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that like she scored 30.
We talking about sports. I mean, what we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.